Hello, and welcome back. It's been a while since I've recorded one of these, but I'm back, and this time around I'm going to talk about Venus retrograde, love horoscopes, love tarot readings, and just the whole notion of twin flames and soulmates and all that jazz. Love readings and relationships and learning about ourselves reflected in the eyes of another is all very important. But during this transit, it's made me realize how focused people are on other people. I think the culture of tarot readings and astrology readings online tend to prime the person receiving the reading to only think about someone else. My personal views on astrology and tarot, as is shared with many others, is supposed to be about self. You are meant to use these things to enlighten yourself about yourself and fix those things about yourself. And yes, other people can help in that journey. Situations that allow us to take a step back and see how other people see us is very important. But I think a lot of us tend to get lost or addicted to these love readings. And the reason why it's such an issue is because there are a lot of readers on YouTube that are only out to make a quick buck. So what they're going to do is exploit your heartbreak, exploit the fact that you are focused on this other human being. And trust me, I understand what it's like to be there. But if you allow yourself to become addicted to tarot or astrology in order to validate what you want the other person to think or feel about you, then it's not really helpful. Everything that you do through tarot or astrology should be productive to your highest goal. And if you are stuck on someone else, then how are you supposed to focus on you? Because your focus is now on this other person, right? And yeah, we're all curious. What are they thinking about me? Do they miss me? Yada, yada, yada. But the fact is, if you have to ask, then the answer is no. And a lot of these love readings, if you watch on YouTube, they will repeat the same thing over and over. And none of it really ends up being helpful to you. There's no lesson. There's no silver lining. There's no greater purpose. It's just kind of like, yes, if you wait, this person will come back to you. Or if you do this, this person will come back. Or you might have a reconciliation by the end of the month. Da 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 da. And it's just kind of like, well, yeah, you can tell them that this and that is going to happen, but how's that going to help them? Where's the lesson in all this? You see, Venus retrograde really asks us to reevaluate our values. It's not just about love. It's not just about romance or dating or exes. That's the package that it comes in. But when you allow yourself to see beyond the situation, to see beyond whether or not they miss me, whether or not they want me back, see why you want them back. See why you constantly think about them. Because, everything is going to come back to you. The way you view your relationships, the way you view other people, and the way that you think other people view you is all reflected back on how you feel about yourself. And I'm sure you're tired of hearing about this because it's very cliche and everyone says it. You can't love anyone until you love yourself. It's not that you can't love anyone until you love yourself, but it's because so few people practice loving themselves. You can love other people, you can date other people, whatever. That's not the point. The point is, at the end of the day, you will always make the decision that best suits your needs, your desires, and your health. And if you're constantly looking at tarot readings and watching these videos and like wondering about the same person, none of that is productive. You are now giving your energy willingly to someone else who has made it very obvious that they don't care about you, because you are clearly second guessing yourself. You're second guessing the connection. The fact that you have come to a love reading should be very indicative that the love that you need to focus on is yourself, because this person has made you feel unwanted. This person has brought you to a place where you feel the need to look at a tarot reading, where you feel the need to seek out an astrologer. But if you are a consumer of these readings, my message is don't get addicted to these types of readings. And also pay attention to the way that the reader speaks. Because if the reader tends to put more power in the other person, they're more so exploiting your feelings than teaching you how to manage your feelings, right? They say, oh, this person has a lot going on. This person may or may not come back. This person this person that. You're focused on the wrong thing. The reading should be about you. You missed this person. This person betrayed you or have you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if you're constantly focusing on why did this person do that? Why did this person do this to me? Why does this person say this if they feel this way? Like, what do they actually mean? What do they actually feel? You have already given up your power. Do you see? Tarot readings are meant to empower you, not to make you feel confused, not to validate you, not to make you, feel like you don't need to do any of the work. It's quite the opposite. It's hard. It's hard to look back on a situation and think, why didn't this work out? What did I do to not make this work out? And a lot of people are so quick to blame themselves for the end of a relationship, when sometimes, most of the time, it just doesn't work. And a lot of us have been primed by society to believe that our end goal is to end up with someone, right? All the old Disney movies, and now all the new Disney movies are all about being independent women. So this generation that's coming up isn't gonna be this obsessed with, finding the one or whatever. But it's the language that you use in these readings that can be very harmful to people. That's why, I believe, I guess you can say roughly, in the twin flame journey or the soulmate journey or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, sure. I respect that. And I respect people who say that they have experienced that journey. Do I believe that journey is the journey? No. Do I believe that our purpose here on this planet is to have a twin flame, and one day, you do the whole running and chasing thing, and then one day you'll end up together? You think that's our purpose? No. Everything here is a lesson. So for this community to put so much emphasis on another as part of the spiritual journey, I think it's quite an insidious message. I think you are diverting people from their true path, because how can you ever become yourself if you are always focused on someone else? Throwback. If any of you have read or watched Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, that's the one where Sirius Black breaks out of Azkaban, and then Harry discovers that he's... whatever. Not important. Anyway, there is a part in the movie and or book, whatever you... I'm just going to reference the movie because there's visuals and it's easier to explain. So in the movie, if you have watched it, there's a part where Harry and Hermione time travel, right? And there's a part in the movie where Harry was about to be... have his soul eaten alive by the Death Eaters, and then all of a sudden his dad's Patronus saves him, or so he thought. And so him and Hermione go on this whole journey during the film, and they travel back through time and do all these things, and then they come back to the scene where Harry's about to die from all of these Death Eaters, and Hermione was like, we have to do something, you're going to die. He's like, no, my dad's going to show up right there, my dad's going to save me. And nothing happens. And Hermione's like, Harry, he's not coming. You need to do something. And Harry's like, no, he's going to show up. Still doesn't show up. Finally, what does Harry do? He realizes his last light is about to leave his body. And so he finally casts out his own Patronus. His own Patronus saved himself. getting these readings and having someone else tell you, oh, don't worry, they'll come back if you just, sit tight. But none of them ever tell you to love yourself. None of them ever really tell you to walk away. You have to love yourself. Maybe not even that, but you have to be okay with being alone. And I think that's the lesson that people don't want to hear. Because immediately when they think Venus, they're like, oh, Venus, like, I'm either going to get love, or like my ex is going to come back, or like something about love, blah, 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 blah. It starts with self-love. I know Venus rules Libra, which is all about other people and relationships with other people. But the only thing that matters, the most important love that people take for granted or skip over is self. Because when you hear love, you think what? Romance. When you think romance with someone else, right? But it's hard to romanticize being alone, right? Even with the new Disney films, all these independent women still have like a friend or a buddy or a sidekick or some kind of supporter, right? And that's another thing. Love comes in all different types of forms. Friendships, mentors, community. Love does not have to be about one other person. In fact, it rarely is about one other person. You cannot just go to a tarot reader or an astrologer and have them say some shit to you that will make you feel better about yourself and then expect to not have to do any of the work. That's the thing that really gets me about these readings, is that the reader will phrase it in a way that makes the person assume that they don't have to do any work on themselves to find love. Like all their problems are completely external. So if you want love, or if you're looking for love, or you're missing someone or whatever, you have to look deeper into yourself and think about, what is it about me that is standing in my own way? And language is very important here, yes? So it's not about being unlovable. It is not about being alone forever. It is not about being ugly or difficult or whatever. It's about, what part of myself have I not been valuing? What part of myself have I not been paying attention to enough, where it is now translating into the way I interact with other people? If you aren't ready to confront that part about yourself, I promise you, all of these love readings that you're looking at, all of these pick a card readings that you're looking at, will mean nothing. You are giving your energy away to people by choosing to not do the work, or by believing that you don't need to do the work. How do you do the work, Michelle? You keep saying do the work. What do you mean? You have to change something about yourself. I can't tell you what that is in like a general podcast, but a lot of people want to confront why they're angry, or why they can't seem to make up their mind when it comes to certain things, or where, they can improve in their life, in their career. So it's all about where your intention is, right? It's all about where your focus is. So as long as your focus is on yourself, you can still get love readings and have it be productive for you. Like, you can look at all these readings online and listen to all these tarot readers say whatever they want to you, but unless you know where you're coming from, these messages won't have any value. You're just going to end up overwhelming yourself. You're going to listen to too many people. You're going to listen to the wrong people, the wrong messages. You're going to overthink, and you're going to second guess your own intuition, which the whole point of tarot is to enhance your intuition, right? So if you are getting a reading from someone and they're making you more confused, you need to take a break. I really don't subscribe to the twin flame soulmate journey. Do I believe it exists? Sure. Do I think it's important? Not really. I think it's taking focus away from the main mission here. And that mission is to make the world better. It sounds so cheesy, but it's all we can really do. It's to keep fighting to make the world better. And how can you do that if you don't love yourself because you're too focused on someone who left you? The thing about the tarot community is that it blocks us. It can help us, but it can easily, just as much, block us from achieving self-actualization, because you are now placing your esteem and your future into the hands of this tarot reader who may or may not even care about your self-actualization, and they just want to make a quick buck because they know that you want a love reading. Even if you're getting a love reading, make sure at the end of the day you can still take that and tie those lessons back to you. Because without that, what's it for? It's just kind of pointless, right? You have to really be ready to receive the reading and know that the reading is merely a reflection of you. So it's not going to tell you anything that you don't already know. It's just highlighting the parts of you that you have not been paying enough attention to. And so again, when you're getting these love readings, make sure that you learn something about yourself in the process. And it's not just about you yearning for someone else or something else, or you waiting for something to happen for you or to you. You have to realize how much power you hold over yourself. It's nice to have different perspectives and hear different opinions. But all of that needs to be taken with a grain of salt, because you have to listen to your intuition and know what's best for you. No one else can know what's best for you except for you. And you have to trust that. I think a lot of people who seek out love readings don't trust the fact that their instinct is right about someone, because we want to give someone the benefit of the doubt when we love them. But you have to redirect that energy and give it back to yourself. You have to give yourself the benefit of the doubt. You have to learn how to heal and love yourself again. That's the biggest lesson with Venus retrograde. So when people come asking me about, twin flames or their soulmates or their significant others, it's always the same answer. It's time to focus on you. Focus on what you really want, what you know you deserve, and what your true value is. Because remember, Venus is not just about love, it's about value. All right. Well, I hope you all got something from this episode. It was quite short, but I don't know. I just like getting to the point instead of having like a super long talk. Yeah, December readings will be out soon. And then I will also be doing 2019 overviews for each sign. And going forward, the formatting is going to be a little different for my readings, starting in 2019. So get excited for that if you've been following. But yeah, thanks for listening, and I will see you guys in the December readings. Bye.